Welcome to Roundhill Radio. Through our conversations, we discover the holy and the ordinary, find moments of grace and peace, and redefine what we're talking about when we talk about faith. Hey, Shannon.
Hello, Leslie.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I'm so glad to see you.
You too.
And I am excited for what we are talking about today.
Yes, which is preparing the way of the Lord or getting ready for Christmas.
Getting ready for Christmas, preparation.
What does that
I've
mean?
been pondering this for a couple of days since we decided to talk about it and since you shared some thoughts about it on Sunday morning. And I'm ready. I'm so ready for this conversation.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So you had brought a quote by Jan Richardson up that it was so beautifully simple.
Yes.
That it stuck with me. Can you share it with
And
our audience?
not only you, but other people as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
here's what she says. And she's an author and artist that we use frequently here. She says, chances are, if we don't enjoy the process of getting ready, we won't enjoy the event we're getting ready for. If we become so consumed by getting Christmas right, the right present, the right cards mailed to the right people at the right time, the right dishes for Christmas dinner with the right people present, we miss risking the surprising ways that God prepares us for this season.
So a bigger idea of preparation.
Bigger idea about the externals and the internals.
Yeah.
Right? Because you hear about people getting so crazed at this time.
Right.
I'm seeing on Instagram all the moms that are obsessing about Elf on the Shelf.
Oh gosh.
And my daughter works in childcare
no.
in a daycare center, and she's doing Elf on the Shelf, and she's like, "What am I going to do today?"
Oh,
I'm
good
like,
for her.
Let's not worry about that.
No, thank goodness for Pinterest, but seriously. But wow. Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot.
So when you're talking about spiritual things,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so how do you prepare your inside so that you can be present for the outside stuff?
Right.
What do you have any ideas about what works for you?
Well, I have to zoom out a little bit.
All right.
Because the first thing I thought of when you brought this up was in college. My roommates and I would put on usually like Madonna.
Should we ask which songs?
I mean, the whole library,
Okay.
really.
What's not to love about Madonna?
Oh, it's not blah, blah, blah. And we would.
And we're not talking about the Madonna associated with Jesus. We're talking about
No, yeah.
Madonna. You have to say that.
I like that. Yes, I will. Yeah, we were verified. No, that's hilarious. That's so funny. I'm just gonna laugh about that for days. So we would put on Madonna, the singing artist.
Yes.
And we would like have a mini party getting ready to go to whatever we were going to go to.
Yeah.
But sometimes the preparation part was as much, if not more fun than whatever event we were going to.
Okay.
And so I have just this precious memory in my mind of just like 3 20-year-old girls just having a blast, dancing around, just having so
Pre-gaming.
much fun. Yeah, I didn't say it. It was such like a precious memory of just like bonding and getting ready. And it was the anticipation of the thing we were going to. It was the just enjoying being together and all those things. But I think the preparation idea is really interesting because, you know, I think about all these people who have big successes. And I think it always seems to come back to the preparation. So I've been thinking about that sort of, you know, sometimes there's the really fun preparation. If you're planning a party or you're planning an event or you're planning for Christmas, I personally enjoy those things. But sometimes the preparation is not as glamorous or not as exciting, right? Like in music school, the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of practice, which is preparation for a recital or for whatever.
Which lasts for a minuscule amount of time. Yes, comparatively.
Exactly. But all those hours build up into something. So I was thinking kind of about that idea of like, of what preparation, the sort of volume of preparation related to the whatever outcome you have. I've been thinking about that for the past couple of days. Of like, you think about watching a lot of football at our house. So like Super Bowl winners, you think about all the hours of preparation and hard work that went into, winning a Super Bowl, for example.
Right. And this season, you think about the decorations that go into things at the house, the buying of presents, the thinking about what will I get for those people, maybe the stressing out about that.
Sure.
And then what are the emotions that go along with that, right? How do you make space? Because Advent is really about making space and waiting. And people in this day and age, I don't know about you, I don't like to wait.
No, we're not great at patience these days, are we?
Right.
And I think there's something I think that's probably the toughest part. Right. But I wonder if the act of when there's an active preparation, I find that helps me wait.
So what does that look like?
Well, for Christmas, doing all the things we have to do. But I've been thinking about this idea of, the preparation for Christmas is almost, I hesitate to use the word distraction, but it's sort of like this active thing where we keep so busy and then Christmas is here. And I feel like sometimes I haven't fully prepared myself, my heart to receive it. And then it's like the middle of January. I'm like, okay, now I'm ready.
Right. Well, and those of us who work in congregational life,
right.
It's like there's so many to do things.
Right.
And it's very easy to kind of get lost in the busyness of it versus kind of focusing, which is what we encourage other people to do. Right. So today I went with some of our congregants to St. Anne's Episcopal Church on the Upper East Side. No, that's not. It wasn't the Upper East Side. It was the Upper Bronx.
Okay.
No, East Side of the Bronx, 141st Street.
Okay.
And it was an after-school program. This little Episcopal church really focuses on like 100 kids. Today there were only 50 because a lot of kids were sick. Oh. So we came in and Roland, our colleague, had put together the frames for gingerbread houses. And to see these kids go in and have a snack first, go up and do their homework, and then come down for gobs of sugar. I just thought, you know what? Maybe for preparation time, because it was so joyous, what if, and I had to stop this morning as I was kind of putting together some things for Instagram and pastoral prayer for this week and all these things. What if I just focused on one thing that's extremely joyful in the day?
Love that.
And then look forward to the joyful thing for tomorrow and just kind of build on that. This is the week, this coming Sunday, we think about joy. Yeah. It's the Magnificat. We're having the Christmas pageant here.
Yeah.
So what if we invited more joy just for a moment in our day, just to kind of step back from all of the I've got to do and just celebrate. It's kind of like what Jan Richardson was saying. If we don't enjoy the preparation, we're not going to enjoy the event.
Right.
So today it was about having joy with those little kids.
So fun.
Whose parents are going to hate us for all the sugar they had. Because they're like, can I have more Skittles? Can I have more? And I'm like, yes, you may.
I am not your parent. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. And I think, so how would you advise people who say, but Shannon, there are so many things I have to do to just like get the 150 presents I have to get and do all the 100 million things I have to do. How would you encourage them to make space?
I've had those very thoughts. So perhaps it's asking for in prayer or just kind of asking out maybe to help other people to help a shift in perspective. Instead of I have to, I get to.
Oh.
Right? Maybe I have the resources that I can get presents for people that are going to bring them some joy. I get to make someone else's day happy. It may be down the road. I get to pet my puppy today. I get to today go down and make some kids really happy because they get sugar. I mean, they were really creative. But to do this kind of, it's being done to me versus I'm an active participant,
Sure.
right? And then, I don't know about you, but saying no is like a foreign concept in this time of year too.
Yeah. And friendly reminder, no is a complete sentence.
Right.
Friendly
Being
reminder.
able to say, you know what? Too much to do this week. I need to step back from a couple of things.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to go to every single party, even though you may want to, but
Right.
you may need a break.
Yeah.
So the Advent themes of hope, peace, which is what last Sunday's sermon was. How do you make peace? By getting rid of some internal things, maybe shifting a perspective. We talked about repentance, of turning behavior. So a shifting of the idea of I have to I get to. This week is joy, and then love, and then light. So I don't know, I've been really conscious of the fact that there are a lot of people struggling. And so this time of year is not a happy time for everybody. Sure. And those things, maybe it's struggling to feel like you have enough to give.
Okay.
So even in those kinds of situations, turning it into I get to spend time with someone. I mean, it doesn't have to be monetary things, right? Get to bring joy. I get to give a smile to someone. Even. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. So to be able to not be distracted by the fun stuff, but to really do it with intentionality. I don't know. What do you think?
That. No, I like that a lot because I feel for me this year it feels like Christmas has come upon us so fast.
So fast.
Like how it feels like it was 6 months ago, the last one.
I know.
Like my brain can't wrap
Is that
around it.
because COVID just was so much of a fog for us?
Yes,
and we're back
and there's that
things.
idea of like we're kind of back to normal, but we're not really back to normal, and like all the, there were some like tradition things I used to do that I'm not really doing, and it just all feels a little weird.
Yeah,
it just feels weird.
Right.
So I'm just trying to ride it. I wonder if next year will feel a little more normal, and this is just
whatever
a weird
normal
one.
means.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, what is?
Maybe we need to discard some stuff.
I like that. To
right?
make
And just
room.
focus on
I love
one
a
or
good
two things
purge.
a day. Right. I know. Make space for more
Make space
space for
some space.
joy.
Right. There you go.
Make space for peace.
I like that. No, I need that. I've been really the past couple of years very into the like just purge. I like every probably 3 months go through some thing and just go hardcore.
That's amazing considering you just had a baby.
Yeah. It turns out my like nesting is just a heavy purge.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't.
So many people would accumulate during that time.
I know. And now I'm like, it's just too much stuff. It's too much stuff. There's too much stuff.
Okay.
I also, she has she has 50 hangers, I think, or 30, like a
Which means she has 50 things of clothes.
Yeah. No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And you would think, is it 50? I think it might actually be 50. That number would be hard to achieve. No. And she changes sizes every
Of course.
3 days.
Yes.
And so it's like I go from having no clothes at the next thing to somehow having no hangers. And I'm determined not to buy more hangers. I've been really obnoxious about it. I went to my husband yesterday with a hanger and I was like, look, a spare hanger.
So this is a good question. How do you, as you approach a season where you'll get more stuff,
Yes.
how do you
I don't know.
let go?
I'm really struggling Christmas this year with the feeling of I don't want more stuff.
Wow, you're young to be saying that.
I
I'm
know.
old. And I'm already like, I want to get stuff out of the house because we're going to downsize at some point.
Sure.
But you're still in the accumulation phase.
You would think. But also when I was like 26, my parents moved out of my childhood home and came to my house with a U-Haul of quite lovely, but furniture and art and stuff. And I did not appreciate that no was a complete sentence. And I was saying yes for a long time because I had that like college student mentality of like, oh, I'll take a freebie. Right. And it hadn't quite like gotten that out of my system. And I kept saying yes. And somehow I ended up with just, I mean, when I say so much stuff, Shannon, so much stuff. And I learned, finally, only took me 36 years. But I learned that if you don't have places to put things, you will be more messy. But if everything has a place, it's like it's miraculous all of a sudden you're tidy. It took me 36 years to figure that out. I got there eventually. But I've gotten to this point of like, I really don't. I think Gus and I were talking about this, that we're those people that like if we want something and it's in our budget, we're just gonna buy it for ourselves. Yeah. Is that bad?
And you can do that. And right? You have jobs that have given you income to be able to do that. And I know that you're generous in giving things away and things like Furniture Share House. Can I just say it's over at the Westchester County Airport? Yeah. You drop your stuff off and people that need it come and just pick it up. And you get a tax write-off. So we've taken stuff over there, and they have a criteria because people that are taking things in have dignity. Absolutely. But it is so easy. It's over at one of the hangars there. Furniture Share House.
Hot tip, everybody. Our conversation has taken a turn, but I'm really into it.
Well, we're making way. We're preparing the way.
Physical ways and spiritual ways.
We're clearing out. And it's no accident that right after that's the new year, right? Right. So I'm already thinking about what am I preaching on January 1. January 1. Yes, we are meeting on January 1st.
Yeah, we are actually meeting on
Christmas Day
too. Although are you off for that one?
Yes, I'm off that one, but I'm on for January 1. So we're talking about what do you need to let go of for the new year? What do you want to think about in the new year?
Very much.
So you're doing that already as you prepare.
I'm preparing to let go. I get there.
The question is, what will you take on?
What will I take? I think I've got enough.
More joy.
More joy. No, it's been a whirlwind of a past few months and with a lot of stuff.
You have a bundle of joy in that little girl.
She's so great.
She is fabulous.
She is really great. Her mohawk that used to go straight up has now gone to a 45. So it just goes.
Just a quick aside. What is she going to say about that later on when she's in her teenage?
She's going to be like, I was the coolest baby ever.
Okay, good. That's the perspective we want to have.
Because she's the coolest baby ever.
Oh, she is the coolest baby.
She's already cooler than me, which no one's surprised by, but I'm enjoying it deeply.
She has the best expressions. Facial expressions.
Oh, yeah. She lets you know what she's thinking.
She's making joy her thing.
She is making joy her thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went up to get her this morning, and she had a hand on the bar of the crib, like, excuse me. And I looked at her and she went, I went back at her. And we just did that for about 3 minutes.
May that continue forever.
It's great. Gus calls it the dopamine hit. And I'm like, yeah.
I have that with a new puppy.
The puppy
Gidget.
Such a great puppy name.
Isn't it?
Can you tell the people the story about your dog? What the essence, like what breed and.
Oh yeah. So Bernie's mountain dog and a poodle, but she was the runt of the litter. Is that a nice word to say, runt? She was the smallest of the litter. Yeah. And she'll be only 40 pounds. And we had a trainer come over to kind of just give us some questions. She said, "This is the calmest, most perfect puppy I've ever seen." Wow. And she goes, "Maybe she's sick." And I went, "No, she's not sick. She's just calm." Nice. And that comes from, it was a breeder that kind of really has searched out that we found through another person that comes to do meditation here. Yes. So she's adorable, black and white with a little bit of brown. And she loves to cuddle.
The best dogs do. The only problem is when you have a dog that loves to cuddle and then you have a newborn who also loves to cuddle and then you're only one person at a time.
When do you do work?
Yeah. I'm getting really good at iPad and iPhone work over here. Really good. Yeah.
Doing it while you're hugging.
Oh yeah. The whole thing. Yeah.
Have we strayed away? No,
have.
we're still talking about more joy.
I think we are talking about
We're
joy.
making space
I'm
for
taking
more
joy that your version of working on a phone is being on the phone.
I'm sorry, I'm an old lady.
I love it. No, it's
Instead
great.
of on,
My phone rang today and I looked at it like, what are you doing?
I'm an old lady.
What is this thing doing?
We're just putting it on speaker and having it down on the thing.
Right. Yeah. I was laughing one
I
time.
talk on the phone. I don't text. all
No,
the time.
and you should. I am somehow allergic to it. Does Peyton have this issue? Is she allergic to talking on the phone?
She talks some, but she's text
It's
and
the
she's
text, yeah.
Instagram and Snapchat and all that stuff.
Is Snapchat still a thing?
Oh yeah,
Seriously?
yeah. She hasn't really gotten into TikTok, doing her own TikToks, but
Oh, sure. Yeah.
it's going to be an interesting shift. She's going to the Peace Corps in February.
Talk about preparation.
Preparation. Wow. Talk about making space for whatever. She's going to Eswatini, which is the former Swaziland.
Okay.
She is going to be there for 2 years, and there will be intermittent electricity. And this is a girl who's on the phone constantly. So I don't know. That'll be another podcast.
That's an yes. What a whole adventure.
Oh, yeah.
It's
But
amazing.
yeah, keep her in your prayers. She leaves February 22nd.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled for her. Thrilled.
Yeah.
Reset for her.
Yeah, and what an adventure.
What an adventure.
I love
Her life will change and it'll be fabulous. Yeah. And she's excited about going.
So what do you have to do a lot of things to prepare for that, or she
got a list
Yeah.
of stuff. I don't know how she would fit all of that stuff in the thing, but I mean, it's everything from a tent to a sleeping bag to, 3 months of whatever supplies and that kind of thing to, water, but so all the different things.
Yeah.
But
does she stay? She's going to stay over there for 2 years?
she's living in a hut
Yeah.
next to a family, and she will go in and provide life skills for 7 to 24-year-olds, do HIV education, live the standard of living with the family that she's right next to, and she's thrilled.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's a girl who's, grown up with privilege, who's
Yeah.
preparing the way
Amazing. Amazing.
for a different life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she always know she wanted to do this?
No. It was interesting. It was after we went on a church mission trip to Nicaragua,
Yeah.
rural Nicaragua, that she came back and she said, I want to do something. So she went in, unbeknownst to me, and decided to major in African studies and international relations in college.
Wow.
And I said, it sounds like you need to go to Africa. And so she started looking at that. They were closed during the pandemic, and they've just opened up. So she made her application. She said to them, because I listened around the corner, I was so proud of her. They said, why do you want to do this? And she said, I was adopted from Russia. She was at age 1. She said, my mother raised me to be a citizen of the world. I've grown up in privilege. It's time for me to give back.
Oh. And your heart exploded.
Exploded
With pride.
Exactly.
Well-deserved pride. That's amazing.
It's all her, though. It's not me. So
She's a credit to you. And the generosity of
proud.
spirit you have encouraged in her.
well, she's she didn't have to take that stuff in. She could have just said, not for me.
Sure.
But no.
That's beautiful.
So I'm very pleased.
Very beautiful. That's wonderful. That's so beautiful. So lots of different perspectives.
We've gone all
on
over the place,
We
all
are
over the
all over
world.
place. We're recording this pretty late in the day.
Yeah, and I've been around a lot of sugar
You've
today.
had a lot of sugar, and I'm like this. As frequent listeners of our podcast know, I'm like this all the time, but Ed usually brings me back, and so
Today was let loose.
Just let loose. It's fine. It's all good. We have some great, exciting things coming up on the podcast over the next few months, so stay tuned for that. A little teaser that January is going to be Art Month.
Wow.
Get excited.
Yes.
It's going to be pretty special. So thank you all for listening. Round Hill Radio is brought to you by the friends and members of Round Hill Community Church. For more information, please visit roundhillradio.org.